Hello. Today we're going to learn about how to make a God's eye, which is a really amazing decoration which looks a little bit like that. You can make it your own colours, make it however you like. This is a really lovely activity. It will teach you how to just follow a pattern and a number of different other skills like joining two bits of wool together and how to make this a cross, which you can see in the background here. So it's a really good activity. You can set it up yourselves, like as an adult, get it set up, and a young child can do it, or an older child can make the whole thing themselves. You end up with a lovely thing that you can hang on your wall. So, starting off then, you want two sticks of roughly about an equal sort of thickness and length, like that. And you put them in a cross, you're going to put them in, fix them in a cross shape, just like that. So, the first thing I'm going to do is tie a knot. It doesn't have to be a fancy knot, but tie a knot on there. So I'm going round my stick twice with my wool. Oh, one thing to note is my wool is pretty long. About an arm's width long, something like that. So I've wrapped my wool around my stick a couple of times. Then I'm just going to put on what are called a couple of half hitches to hold it together. So really that sounds like a fancy knot, but it really isn't. It's just the start of a shoelace twice. So you make a loop and then put the tail of your string through the loop and pull it tight. Easy. This is basically how to make a square lashing, which could be used outside as well as in. So obviously you can do this activity outdoors. But if you're in the outdoors as well, to be able to make a cross like that could have a number of uses. So I've tied it onto one piece like this, and then I'm going to start wrapping it round. Hope you can see that all right. Just wrapping it round my sticks to hold it in place in that plane. It doesn't matter too much about how you do that. This is very similar to how you tie on a button. So you've gone round that way, and then I'm just going to go round the middle. So look. To pull it in tight, go round the middle like that a few times. And then I can start my weaving. So it's not quite a square lashing, but it's definitely a good start for how to learn how to do that. So there we are, there's your cross. Number one achieved. Next thing is the weave. So this is how the weave works. You hold your string, which as I mentioned is still nice and big. And you're going to do the same thing every time. So watch this weave. So this is going to be what is essentially the centre of my God's eye. So you can see in this one I used some grey wool in the first instance. So you go over the top like that and then round. Over the top and round. And hold it so you go round. I'm going round clockwise like that around my stick and on to the next one clockwise round. And the next one clockwise round, and the next one clockwise round. And you keep going like that until you have got rid of all of your first length of wool. So it's going to take a while. So this would get to be rather a long video if I just carried on like that. But I will just get it started for you, so you can see it's taking shape. And I'm going to move really quite quickly now just to get this started off. So I really recommend, if you're going to teach this to your children or if they're going to try and pick it up themselves, but if you are going to teach it, I would definitely do this in stages. So make sure they're all with you at the different stages of the project. So here we go, it's starting to form now. And I'm getting close already, it doesn't take very long, to my end of my piece of wool. See? Now I'm going to leave a nice long piece like this, which I am now going to attach to my next length of wool. So I'm going to have purple at my middle, of my eye, and then my next colour will be green. And I'm just going to untie the green. Get that up and running. There we are. And I will choose a similar length of green, so a nice big arm's width of green. Yes. Snap the wool. Whoops, there we are. Now, another knot, a very easy little knot, doesn't need to be anything fancy like a reef knot, it could just be what we call a granny knot, doesn't matter, as long as you do this, you cross your wool over like that, you put them round like the start, as if you're going to start your shoelace, and then you do the same thing again, as if you're going to start your shoelace and pull it tight. 2 pieces of wool tied together. It's a little bit slippery, this wool, so I'm just going to put another, what I call a hitch on there, because that didn't really hold, so I'm going to do it 3 times, see if it works. Yay, good enough. Now, if I was doing this for real, I don't have any scissors to hand, which is a bit silly with a project like this, so have some scissors to hand. Cut off your... Have I got a knife? Yeah. I'm going to use a knife. You don't need a knife for this. Cut off your little ears, just so they don't stick out. No one likes sticking out ears. There we are, pull that tight. And we're going to carry on weaving. Same process as before. And we're going to start to turn in our new colour. Here we go. We're about to disappear on the purple. There it is, that's the end of purple, and here comes green. There we go. Same process. Over the top, round the back, turn. Over the top, round the back, turn. I'm going to do that really slowly to make sure you've all got that. Over the top, around the back, and on to the next one. Over the top, around the back. So this teaches children consistency. It teaches them how to just sit somewhere quite still. They can chat with their friends around the fire or even in the living room, wherever you are. It can be outside or in. And you can slowly work away and weave away with your hands. And you can chat